Hey everybody, Jeff and Chase here from eXp Realty. It's June 2025. It's heating up in Phoenix. Not just the temperature, but it's getting hot for buyers. I want to show you right away. We're going to get right after it, and we're going to show you some cool slides here. So, first of all, we want to show you that, yeah, buyers are getting pickier by the day. They're getting pickier by the day, and we're noticing that quite often in the littlest things out there are affecting how buyers, ask for concessions and things like that. So speaking of concessions, look at this. It's going up. Concessions are going up. Sellers are paying more credits to buyers because the market is loosening up every day. It's getting a little looser. So concessions are up. Price reductions, what do you know? That's pretty high too. So we got 13,000 in just the week or the month ending of June 21st. In the month of June, had 13,000 price reductions. You're seeing a lot of them, right,
Yeah,
Case?
we're getting notified every single day about homes that we've popped into that are being reduced. So if it's not priced super aggressive, we're seeing things sit and more price reductions being done.
Yep, we are right on the cusp of some serious opportunity. I'll show you why here in a minute. Look at the days on market. Those are also up too, up to 42 days before time of contract. So selling a house in a weekend is no longer happening unless it's priced very under the comps and staged magnificently. Chances are it's going to sit for a few weeks. Okay, now let's get to some really good news. Our inflation in Phoenix is almost non-existent in Phoenix. People don't realize that. We're doing fantastic against the United States inflation rate. We're down at almost even. We're down at like a minuscule 0.3%. That's good news. Phoenix is really leveling out nicely. Okay, so that's what's going on the inflation side. Now let's look at the unemployment rate. Also good in Phoenix. We have so many prime time companies moving here right now. TSMC enhancing their operations, Mayo Clinic, technology companies moving in here left and right, data centers moving in here left and right.
Yeah.
Phoenix is a great place to bring your business. So now let's look at rates. See what's happening here, my friends. Look at the trickle down that's been happening over the last few months. Yeah, we have little ups and downs, but look at the trend line. It's slowly going down. So many people believe we'll be in the low sixes by the end of the year. This is what's going to break it open. Okay, you'll see this, and I've been predicting in the summer we're going to have lower prices, which is happening as we speak, and lower rates. And every single day it gets a little bit sweeter for buyers. And that's what's going on right now. So that's your conforming rate for a conventional loan. Okay. Now look what happened recently. Mortgage applications kicked up. All we need is a little bit of mortgage rate relief, and the mortgage applications bounce up really quickly. In fact, our lender said she's been very busy.
Yeah, now what happens, Jeff, when the rates start coming down?
Yeah. So what's going to happen when the rates come down is that you'll see the prices start to moderate. They'll start to balance out a little bit because when you have rates that really go down very aggressively, buyers flood into the market and they absorb supply. So think about what's going on in Phoenix right now. We have the outlying areas and we have the inner cities. The outlying areas are always the first areas to go into a buyer's market, and they're the last areas to come out. And the reason is people go out there to buy, and then when the prices loosen up on the interior, places like Gilbert, Mesa, Chandler, when they break up a little bit, then the buyers come into town. So if you're in an inner city, those cities are last to go into a buyer's market and first to come out. Because
Right.
the buyers will come in, they'll absorb that supply, and then before you know it, those inner cities are now back to a balanced market.
Right. And the demand starts coming up, more people flood the market, demand goes up, and then prices start to tick back up.
That's right. That's exactly what's happening. That's why we have a window, my friends. We have a window right here. Look at the sales volume that's running through the valley right now. If you look back at the recession, 2008 and 2009, look how bad it was. And look at the sales volume now. It's actually not too far off from that when you take out all the REOs, the bank property, and the short sales, and you just look at the actual normal sales, not too different than what we had back in the recession. So we've had low volume because it's been pretty unaffordable, for most buyers to buy a house. And so what's happening now is now the market is loosening up. Markets always find a way back to equilibrium. They always do. Pretty cool chart. Now, this is what's going on here. We got supply, which over the last few months has been going up. But guess what just happened? We just had a month over the last like few weeks where it's actually gone down a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's starting to moderate a little bit. And now our market trend is now in the red, which means our market index, that gauge in the middle, says that we are now in a buyer's market overall in Phoenix. There are some sellers markets, but most cities are in buyer's markets. We're at 72%, which is in the red. Demand is also still low. The
Yeah.
demand will start coming up as the rates go down and as the prices go down over the summer. Gotta love this stuff, Chase. Okay, buyer's market going down. You can see it's just been dropping like a rock. Well, you're going to start seeing the prices reflected and such over the next few months. You may see between now and the end of the year, you may see a 2 to 5% decrease in median sales price. But if you're looking at a $400,000 house and you have a 5% decrease in price, well, it's 20,000.
100%.
It's not a huge number, but it helps.
Definitely.
It definitely helps. Now, look at this, how many buyers markets we've had over the last what is it, 20 years, 25 years. It's only been a few. We got the 206 debacle, 208, 210, had a little bit of a dip in 2022. Now we're heading into 2025. We've literally been in a buyer's market for the last 8 months.
Yeah, and I think people don't really understand four in the last 25 years. So these individuals who are looking to make a move, purchase a home, or maybe you've been renting for a long time looking to get into a home of your own, this is a good time to do it. One of four in the last 25 years.
Yeah. And what's happening, the sellers now, this is starting to make sense to them. And now they're starting to get into reality of what's happening. So now sellers are pricing their homes, they're taking more price reductions. That's why you can see that at the very end there. This buyer's market started about 8 months ago and it's been sliding downward. And I still think it has more to go. Over the summer. So the deals are just going to get better and better. And we keep putting buyers in amazing deals, getting sellers to pay down interest rates, putting them into new builds. Chase, that's an amazing place to go right now.
100%. Yeah, the new builds are offering a lot of incentives. They're buying down the interest rates. The market rate, as we were talking earlier, was about 6.8, right under 7. And some of these communities are offering a 3.99% interest rate for a 30-year fixed, which is drastically different than the market value.
Yeah.
And that really plays a big role in your payment, which is how these new builds are staying so competitive right now.
Yep. And we also know how to negotiate on new builds. A lot of people think, oh, you can't negotiate with a new build. Yes, you can. We negotiate fiercely hard for our clients. Okay, let's keep on going. So if you noticed over the last few months, and I predicted this months ago, every single month you see more of those seller markets and more of those buyer market cities falling into the buyer market category. You can see other buyer markets on the lower right hand side. All of those periphery cities, we're talking about some are in extreme buyers markets,
Yeah.
and I expect to see some of those balance markets jump into the under the 90 point, because between 90 and 110 is considered a balanced market. We may see some in that balanced market jump down into the straight buyer's market. So
Mhm.
it just keeps on getting better and better. And you're going to see some of the stuff at the very bottom. Actually, you may see that start to come up a little bit into a balanced market because the market's trying to find that equilibrium. It's pretty interesting. Okay. And then here's another good graphic. You can see all the buyers markets on the right, the balance in the middle, and then you got the handful of sellers markets on the left. Okay. Now, appreciation wise, you would think, gosh, the sales prices must be going down. When you look at all the price points across Maricopa County and Pinal, it's only gone down a little less than a 0.5% from last year. But this is taking all the different cities and price points. When you look at it a little closely or a little closer, you will see this. You will see that the prices below 600 grand is where you're seeing the biggest reductions.
Mm.
So you have an average overall of 0.5 downward, a negative 0.5%. But when you look at the stuff that's below 600 grand, it's a much bigger difference. You're looking at -3, -4.2, on the lower end houses.
And the higher end homes are in the positive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and a lot of that is tied to the stock market. The luxury home prices are very much tied to the market. In fact, the biggest month where the most cancellations are taken in luxury homes is June. We had record numbers of cancellations in June. A lot of it was because the market was very volatile. And a lot of sellers that are trying to test the market, they just kind of give up because it gets really hot in Phoenix. They're like, I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with it. So they cancel it, right? So that's an interesting thing. So we want you guys to know we are here for you. And we have been in business for a long time. Chase and I have, gosh, together probably over 40 years of leadership experience. We're here for you. Chase is a hustler. He works so hard. I mean, the guy works like all the time, and together we're a really good team. We care about our clients.
100%. We have a VIP buyer program that we always like to throw out there. So if you're even thinking about making a decision or wanting to make a move at some point in the future, give us a call. Let us know. We can talk through kind of what those options look like, and we can run you through that VIP buyer program and what we offer to the clients that we work with.
Yep. We're not going to just take you out and show you a house. That's not good fiduciary service. We will sit down with you, do a buyer consultation, truly understand what your needs are, because that's the way it should be done. That's why we earn what we earn, is because we spend the time with our clients, understand their needs, take care of everything, take the hassle out of it, take the stress out of it. You know what I'm saying? Chase?
100%.
Yeah, so give us a call. Let us help you guys out. Hope you're having a great summer. If you're looking in Phoenix to buy or sell, we hope you call us. We'll talk to you soon.